Thousands of people here in the stands, and there are millions of people on television, and everyone looking, and all with speculation to see what kind of a game the Green Bay Packers are going to play today.
In 1967, the average cost to advertise during Super Bowl I was $37,000. But now that the Super Bowl isn't just the biggest sporting event in America, it's the most expensive advertising stage on earth. A Super Bowl ad costs $10 million for a 30-second spot, and that doesn't include celebrity fees, production expenses, or promotion. So when a Super Bowl ad fails, it doesn't just flop, it explodes, publicly, financially, and sometimes culturally. Today, we're looking at major companies that spent huge money, made huge mistakes, faced massive backlash, and paid the price.
So you guys look great.
Nothing between me and my 100% all-natural, juicy, grass-fed beef.
Introducing the all-natural burger.
The ad, officially called Au Naturel, featured model Charlotte McKinney, and although it grabbed attention, critics argued the ad was more about sexual innuendo than about natural ingredients. Research from an advertising firm showed only about 27% of viewers said they planned to visit Carl's Jr. after seeing the ad, but more than half found it offensive or irritating, far below what you want after spending $4.5 million on a Super Bowl ad. The commercial also sparked debates about using sex appeal in a Me Too era, where audiences were openly pushing back on advertising that felt exploitive. So did Carl's Jr. try to fix things? In the short term, no. Carl's Jr. defended the ad, saying the controversy got people talking and ultimately drove digital views and buzz. But long-term, Carl's Jr. quietly shifted direction. In 2017, Carl's Jr. and sister chain Hardee's moved away from overtly sexual ads, launching the Carl Hardy Sr. campaign that focused more on food and humor rather than raunch. In 2011, Groupon tried to be edgy.
The people of Tibet are in trouble. Their very culture is in jeopardy. But they still whip up an amazing fish curry.
They joked about serious global issues, Tibet, endangered rainforests, and then pivoted to restaurant coupons. But the humor didn't land, at all. The backlash was immediate and loud. People felt Groupon was trivializing real human suffering to sell discounts on pizza and massages. Human rights groups condemned the ads, viewers called the ad insensitive and ignorant. And Groupon was accused of cause-washing.
Whales, the most spectacular creatures on the planet. Hi, I'm Cuba Gooding Jr. Today, their numbers are dwindling. Somebody's got to save them.
Which happens when companies insincerely align themselves with social causes, not to help or draw awareness, but for profit, to sell products that have nothing to do with said cause.
But it's more fun watching them jumping, playing. And since 100 of us bought at Groupon.com, we're each getting an $86 whale-watching cruise for just $49.
Save the money.
Groupon spent $3 million on the ad, only to become one of the villains of Super Bowl 45. And instead of hypergrowth, Groupon created a PR firestorm. However, where most companies would double and triple down on a mistake, Groupon did something rare. They apologized. They pulled the ads, admitted the mistake, and changed strategy. It didn't erase the damage, but it stopped the bleeding.
What do I tell my daughter? Do I tell her that despite her education, her drive, her skills, her intelligence, she will automatically be valued as less than every man she ever meets?
For some reason, Audi tried to tackle the gender pay gap in 2017. The ad shows a young girl racing go-karts against boys, while a voiceover asks whether she'll be valued less simply for being a girl. But the message itself wasn't the problem. The problem was credibility. Audi was criticized for promoting gender equality while reportedly lacking women in executive leadership roles. How could a company raise awareness and stop an issue they are exacerbating? And it's not surprising viewers accused Audi of hypocrisy. Critics rightfully called the ad performative activism. Audi paid $5 million for this ad, only to overshadow their brand and invite public scrutiny into its own corporate practices. Instead of praise, they got fact checks.
I'll never learn to ride a bike. Or get coolies. I'll never learn to fly. I couldn't grow up because I died from an accident.
Nationwide thought they were doing something bold in 2015 with their Make Safe Happen Super Bowl ad. Instead, they only traumatized the internet. Most Super Bowl ads are supposed to be funny, inspiring, or just epic.
What's up? What's up?
This was none of that. Nationwide delivered a PSA about child death, with no warning, sandwiched between beer ads and nachos. Viewers didn't just dislike it, they were furious. Twitter exploded within seconds. Thousands of negative tweets came in minutes. Late-night hosts mocked it. Nationwide spent $5 million to become the most hated brand of Super Bowl 50, but they didn't have to go that route. Every year, Nationwide pays Peyton Manning millions of dollars as their celebrity pitchman. They could have just built a Super Bowl ad around Peyton Manning. He was playing in the damn game. But instead, Nationwide paid millions for reputation damage. Even worse, Nationwide doubled down on the ad.
I'm all in.
She goes hidey-ho.
Releasing statements defending the ad's message. No apology, no pullback. Resulting in a textbook example of when a company takes a shot that misses, then gets mad at the crowd for booing them instead of admitting fault and doing better.
Replay serves no purpose in our game.
Here's money. With gold at an all-time high, now's the time to send your unwanted gold for cash, like these gold cufflinks.
I can get cash for this gold medallion of me wearing a gold medallion.
What happens when you hire Ed McMahon and MC Hammer to teach viewers how to mail in their jewelry for cash?
My gold giraffe. My gold pants. My gold hip replacement.
We melting gold, baby.
Cash, the number 4, gold.com.
Goodbye, old friend.
Cash for Gold found out the hard way. This Super Bowl 43 ad was meant to be catchy and relatable during a recession, but it ended up looking exploitative and tone-deaf to the country's economic pain. Using celebrities known for financial woes to promote a gold-buying service rubbed viewers the wrong way, and the commercial didn't clearly communicate why people should trust Cash for Gold over competitors. Even worse, Cash for Gold spent $3 million to piss off cash-strapped viewers. Cash for Gold continued its general direct response advertising, but never regained credibility as a respected national brand. The company ultimately declared bankruptcy in 2012 and was acquired by Direct Holdings Global.
What was the philosophy of the civil rights movement as you saw it then, more than 10 years ago?
Well, I would say then the philosophy was that we must go all out to use legal and nonviolent methods to gain full citizenship rights.
Using Martin Luther King Jr. to sell trucks. That sentence alone should have stopped this ad from ever airing in 2018.
If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. That's a new definition of greatness.
Ironically, the MLK speech they chose explicitly warned against materialism. But Dodge crafted a commercial about selling $60,000 trucks. Viewers immediately noticed the contradiction, and the social media backlash was instant. Accusations started to fly about Dodge exploiting civil rights history for profit, and the company was accused of misinterpreting and cheapening MLK's legacy. Many viewers felt the commercial crossed an ethical line, not just a marketing one. This commercial cost Dodge $5 million, but really all it did was erode brand trust with consumers. But instead of detracting the ad and apologizing, Dodge fought the criticism.
Gotti, Shambe Mitchell. We've been able to...
Dodge fought back, saying they had permission from MLK's estate to use his image and likeness. However, this commercial shifted away from the product and toward the controversy, which isn't what Dodge expected after spending millions.
We're Ram. Trucks are what we do.
Have you ever seen a talk to this?
This is what happens when a classic coffee creamer named Coffee Mate drops its first ever Super Bowl ad and it flops. The Let's Go Tongues ad, which cost $8 million, wasn't received as being clever or funny. Even using Shania Twain's voice on the ad didn't help. Viewers described the commercial as uncanny, unsettling, and just flat-out weird. Social media was shocked, confused, creeped out, and even angry. People on X called it the weirdest Super Bowl ad ever. Some even joked about being entitled to compensation for having seen it. The ad was so odd that Coffee Mate itself leaned into the buzz, saying the goal was to get tongues talking, which it certainly did. But here's the curious part. Despite all the backlash and trashing, there's no clear evidence that the ad hurt Coffee Mate's sales, at least publicly. Analysts say Super Bowl ads are often meant to build awareness, not drive immediate sales, so short-term spikes or dips aren't always disclosed. Experts also note that even negative reactions can increase brand visibility. And unlike some other controversial campaigns in history, Coffee Mate did not issue an apology or publicly scrap the concept. They kept right on wagging their tongue. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. We're a brand new channel. This is our first video and we're looking to grow.